Uh, I also, interested in that space around rereading your, you talked about intimately knowing your themes report and your reports. I think one of the things that you find as well, Jim, and I don't know if you find this, but when you go back to read your report, you'll often go, oh my God, how long's that been there? And the answer, of course, has been all the time. But your report is a great tool in the context of your life as well, because the context of your life is constantly changing. And when you read your report, you'll see different things. So even if that report is a dynamic, organic document that when you read it, it'll bring different things into context depending on what's happening. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, we always have to be students of ourselves in this. And as we learn and grow, I think even our understanding, this ties perfectly, and there's been a little conversation in chat about this, about test and retest. In other words, I took the Clifton Strengths Assessment 5 years ago. I'm taking it again today. Will it be different? Won't it? Those kinds of things. Let me take a side note on that really quick, because this is a big question people ask. 177 paired questions, same order each time. But chances are, if I took it today and I took it tomorrow, it may be a little bit different. Like, think about the odds of me being able to get all 777 questions exactly the same twice in a row. Now, some of you who have discipline, analytical, and consistency, maybe you can do that. But to me, every day is a new day. And so it would probably fly around for me on that. So my understanding of myself, because I've been in a strengths-based organization and I've had a lot of strengths coaching over the last 5 years, the understanding of myself has greatly increased too, and how I see myself and the language I use to explain how I see myself. It's a self-assessment. So if those things are changing, chances are the way I answer the questions are changing. We would often say, yeah, if you answered it honestly across time, the reliability of the test is it's about 70%. So 70% of the time, you're going to get the same or similar results back. That's not the important part, right? The important part in this is the self-discovery. What have I learned about myself? Sorry. What have I learned about myself in that time? Let's change the fundamental understanding of myself in that. And so, Mick, to what you're saying, I think we have to constantly be students of ourselves in this, and having this self-reflection of how am I changing? How am I growing? What's different about me in this? And listen, that takes, for some of us, that takes a little bit of effort to admit, oh yeah, I have kind of grown in this area. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on us to be perfect all the time, or to be accomplished all the time. I'm the best manager I ever was. 5 years ago, you were probably gotten a little bit better. If you're an executive, you're probably a better executive today than you were 5 years ago. I know that the pressure is that you were always that good, but you probably weren't, right? So, and I think if you took a close examination, you'd say that too. We have a performance culture that's in place, and I think this is a global thing, to just have, especially with social media, to have this persona of kind of, I've got my, I've got it all together. Well, we continue to grow in that. So Mick, I think we have to constantly be students, even for ourselves, to go all the way back to the beginning of the conversation, that if we're not a student of the report or the student of ourselves, we're kind of missing the point. And so over time, I think we have to constantly be looking at, let me give you an example, because I think this is for me. I've done 6 and now 7 seasons of this Theme Thursday. All we do is talk about the themes, right? Done hundreds of hours of prep and study and for those kinds of things. And it took me all the way to season 6 to really understand my maximizer, right? To really understand who I was, what that theme meant for me. That was 6 years. And I remember we're having this conversation, and it boom in my head, like, oh, right? That breakthrough moment, 6 years. Now I'm a little slow. So for you, maybe it can be 6 months, but that only came because I was open and being a student of of the report, so to speak, a student of my strengths.
Yeah, and I love that. I had a coaching session. Well, maybe I'm even slower than you, mate. I think it's been 14 years, and someone said something about included the other day, and I said, "Listen, I'm sorry, I need to stop this coaching session so that I can write this down about myself. I've just learned something about myself in your statement there." And I went, "Oh, thank you for that. That was a gift for me in this session, that I'm now thinking about myself in a different way."